Subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans. Before history was written, before mankind had fire, the earth belonged to monsters. Forests stretched endlessly. The sky rumbled with storms, and predators lurked in every shadow. But one ruled above them all. A titan of flesh and fury. King Kong, scarred, massive, unchallenged, yet even the fiercest beast was not alone. Beside him, fragile, barefoot, her torn white dress clinging in the storm, stood Beauty, a young woman, fearless yet vulnerable, her eyes wide as the jungle shook around her. Together, they entered a world where every step was war, every roar, a challenge, every heartbeat, survival itself. Subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans. Their first test came swiftly. From the grass, glowing eyes appeared. A saber-toothed cat, its fangs long as daggers, its body crouched in hunger. Beauty froze, but Kong roared. The jungle shook as predator met titan. Claws slashed, fangs snapped. And with one thunderous strike, Kong hurled the beast aside, but the battle was only the beginning. Because in this world, danger never slept. The jungle tested them again and again. Raptors burst from the undergrowth, jaws snapping. Crocodiles glimmered in swamps, eyes glowing just above the water. And always, Beauty clung close, her white dress dirtied, but her spirit unbroken. Kong fought. Every roar shattered the valley. Every fist broke bone and stone alike. Yet in the chaos, Beauty was no longer only protected. She became his partner. When bees swarmed, it was she who smoked the hive with leaves. When fire raged, it was she who showed him which path to follow. And when predators circled, it was she who stood defiant, stone in hand. Together, they carved a fragile rhythm of survival. Titan and human, two creatures bound by necessity. Subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans. But as battles raged in the jungle, the sky itself prepared its fury. Because above them, far beyond the clouds, something far greater than predators was on its way. It began with a streak of light across the heavens. A burning trail, brighter than the moon, screaming across the stars. Beauty lifted her face. Kong rumbled uneasily. And then the sky fell. Meteors rained like fire arrows, crashing into the jungle. Trees erupted in flame. Cliffs shattered into dust. Rivers boiled with fury. Kong shielded Beauty with his body, every ember striking his scarred chest. He carried her through fire, through smoke, through walls of collapsing stone. Predators fled. Dinosaurs scattered. The jungle itself burned alive. Yet still, they endured. Through flames, through storm, through thunderous shockwaves, subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans. But survival had one final price. For in the firestorm, a new predator rose, one that even Kong had never faced. The jungle had burned. The skies still hissed with falling fire. And in the silence that followed, the world had changed forever. Kong and Beauty moved through a land of ash. Trees stood as blackened skeletons. Rivers choked with smoke. Animals fled in every direction. Not hunting, not fighting, only running. But in the ruins, predators grew desperate. Gaunt dire wolves, eyes glowing, circled in the mist. Scavenger birds the size of men swooped low, talons scraping, and every shadow carried hunger. Kong swatted wolves into dust. Beauty hurled stones with trembling hands, her white dress streaked with ash but still gleaming like hope. Together they pressed forward, step by step, into a world collapsing around them. Subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans. Then came a sound that froze even Kong, a bellow deeper than thunder rolling across the valley. From the far ridge, a colossal predator appeared, scarred by fire. Spines jagged across its back, eyes red with fury. It was larger than any beast they had ever seen, a monster born of chaos. Kong lowered Beauty to a ledge, his amber eyes burning. He beat his chest once, the scar glowing in the firelight. The Titan stepped forward to meet his greatest test yet. The earth itself seemed to shake. The spined beast lunged, its jaws wide, its claws slicing boulders in two. Kong caught its strike, muscles tearing with the strain as Beauty screamed from her cliff. The battle lit the valley. Dust clouds rolled. Stones shattered. Every impact echoed like a drumbeat of the apocalypse. Beauty refused to stay hidden. She seized a flaming brand, waving it, screaming, distracting the predator at the cost of her own safety. Its eyes turned toward her, and Kong struck, slamming it sideways into the ravine. But the beast did not die. It rose again, bloodied, more furious, storm crashing overhead. Subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans. For hours they clashed, through rivers that boiled, through forests still burning, through cliffs that crumbled beneath their weight. Kong roared, chest scar blazing like fire. Beauty's courage never faltered, her white dress torn, her voice carrying across the battlefield like a war cry. And then, the sky itself answered. Another asteroid fragment slammed into the horizon. The shockwave flattened trees, split mountains, and hurled both Titan and beast into the dust. Silence followed. Only Beauty's heartbeat echoed as she crawled to Kong's side. The Titan's breath came shallow, his amber eye fixed on her. And in that silence, she placed her hand on his cheek. The war was not yet finished. But together they would endure. The earth had fallen silent. The stars were gone, hidden behind smoke and ash. And in the ruins of fire and stone, two survivors still walked. Kong, scarred, bleeding, unbroken, and Beauty. Fragile, barefoot, her torn white dress darkened by ash, yet her spirit still burning bright. They were the last hope in a world collapsing, but the world was not finished with them. From the mist, the spined monster returned, bloodied, maddened, fury blazing in its red eyes. Kong lowered Beauty gently to the ground. She touched his fur once, a silent promise, and stepped back. The Titan turned, and the final battle began. Subscribe now and join the journey of survival. Only on Rise of the First Humans, the beast charged. Kong's roar split the valley. They collided with the force of mountains. Claws raked fur, fists shattered bone. Every strike sent shockwaves through the broken earth. Beauty climbed the cliffside, white dress whipping in the storm. She seized torches, hurled firebrands, screamed warnings as stone shattered below. Her voice cut through the chaos, guiding him, human and Titan fighting as one. Hours seemed to pass in moments. The beast lunged for her. Kong intercepted, slamming his scarred chest against its jaws. Blood sprayed, dust rolled. The earth itself trembled beneath their fury. But still, the monster rose. Subscribe now and join the journey of survival, only on Rise of the First Humans. At last, Kong seized its throat, straining every muscle. The beast's claws tore deep, blood soaking his fur. But he would not yield. With one final thunderous roar, Kong drove it back, into the tar pits where Beauty had set fire. Flames roared upward. The monster shrieked once, and sank beneath the fire-lit mire. Silence fell. The storm faded. Only the crackle of flame remained. Kong staggered, his body broken, chest scar burning like fire in the night. Beauty rushed to him, her small hand pressing against his wound, her tears cutting lines through ash on her face. For a moment, it seemed the Titan would fall. But then, his amber